Hey, it's James from Finney Electrical. On today's episode we are putting some solar in on that roof behind me and installing a Zappi. Here we go, let's get into this. Just got the lads behind me putting the cable in for the Zappi at the moment. So what is it? It's an Ultra EV cable. So basically it's got a 6mm 3-core and a data cable built into the same cable itself. So it just looks a bit neater than tacking a data cable onto the side of it. I'll show you how that works later. Here we go, so this is a little garage then. So this is another person's garage. So what we're going to do is put these 3 panels and one on top and 3 panels and one on top on the other side. So we've got a bit of scaffolding up. And then what we're going to do is get a inverter here then. So it's just going to be solar. There's no battery on this one, so essentially they're in during the day, so as they're generating they're not going to be using any power during the day. Plus they've got something called a solar diverter, so what that's going to do, it's called the Eddie by My Energy. That's going to take any excess power and it's going to pull it and heat a heating cylinder, so the hot water. So that's proved to be the most efficient and most cost saving way of using that power. So here we go, so the inverter is going to sit here then. So we'll bang the inverter in here. There'll be some basically 2 strings, so there'll be 2 pos and negs going up to one side and banging into one side of the inverter, and pos and neg coming over into the other side. So there'll be 2 strings on this one, a little isolator, and then that'll be this side done. So then the kit hasn't arrived yet, so we're waiting for this kit to arrive. So it's a bit of a stock's a nightmare at the moment. You tell the wholesalers, right, we're going to be on site for 8. They'll say, yeah, we'll get everything ready from 7:30. We'll have it delivered. It's what are we on now, about 10 o'clock. Let's have a look. Oh, dropping my phone. Yeah, bang on 10. So yeah, we're just gonna have to ring them up and try and get his stuff down here. But yeah, we've got the Zappi coming, we've got the Eddie, we've got something called the Harvi. So basically, when you install these systems, you're supposed to put a CT clamp around the main cable coming in. It measures the site's load. So any PV, any solar being created, it exports into the grid, and that CT clamp will measure that load. And for the Eddie, for the solar diverter, any excess it'll pull it in, so you don't waste it getting paid a penny for exporting, which is rubbish. You actually get to save yourself like 40p a kilowatt. So you've got like a 3 kilowatt heater, it's going to save you what's that, 4, 8, 12, £1.20 an hour essentially. You'll be costing you to heat that hot water. But gosh, we've got the solar diverter, it'll be free. So here we go, so as far as the Zappi then, the Zappi's going to sit on this wall here then, and then we've just measured this out, so it's just long enough. So we'll get the Zappi there, we'll clip down, round here, behind the little drain pipe, through the wall, and then we've got Ellis on it. Ellis is just marking up, he's having his first go at marking up. I'm going to check it and I'm going to drill through the wall next to the fuse board and then get it wired in. So that's a nice easy one. But essentially, yeah, I think he's done a little mark already down here where he's going to be drilling through. In fact, there's existing holes. So we could just, I've just seen that, we could just unplug that and shove the cable through, I think. I don't think they've seen that yet, but I'll mention that one. We spotted it, Ellis said. Yeah, man. There's a little plug the pole. So yeah, we'll unbung that, get a rod through and see if it actually goes through to the fuse board. So that'll save us, because yeah, essentially where we want it to bring through, it's like the middle of the wall, so we'd have to kind of angle the drill, but if there's already a hole through, we might as well just nick that hole and send his cable through. Look at that, he's got it out, It's like Dr. Pimple Popper, that, isn't it? A big greenie, right? We'll try and get this through then. They've already got a hole through there, so let's see where this gets us. So I'm going to rattle about in there, and I'm going to see if they can hear it. Can you hear that, lad? I think it's hitting the back of the wood, so I think we'll drill a bit out of the wood and we should be able to get it through. There we go, so it's tapping away then, so it appears to be around here, it sounds like it is. So we'll just drill through gently, it should pop up underneath here, we're about to get straight into that. It's that fuse board, which isn't too bad. Whee, they've arrived. got the back of it on. So that's the little holder then for the cable to sit on. We'll get this fixed next. We finally got that hole through then, so we'll just show you that then. So that's nicely gone through. If you look down here, hey, look at that, I see the light and it's good. Right then, let's get that through and I'm going to start. Now the kit's arrived, we'll get the inverters. And these are battery now apparently. Here we go, we found stuff out a bit late, but it's all good. Right, let's get these boxes unpackaged then. So we've got a Sunsynk inverter here. So little Sunsynk inverter then. Put these to one side. Little Wi-Fi dongle with it. And then what I'll do, get this mounted up there behind me. Alright then, that's his little inverter in there. So that's looking mint. So the idea is to get some trunking across here. We'll see if it goes that way, but essentially you get your PV here, PV1 and 2, PV1 and 2. So it'll come out. Obviously there needs to be a piece of trunking going up. So the two strings will come in, PV1 and PV2, strings will come in, PV1 and PV2, and then what we're going to do then, the battery terminals are going to your trunking, and mount your bottom of your trunking into your battery, so we'll have to see how that is. Sometimes there's a mounting bracket for it, sometimes they don't bring it and we just have to plonk it on the floor. What else we got? And then the power for it then will come out of here. We've got an isolator, we've got a generation meter, and that's about it. And then we'll have to come into this. So it's a bit of a different setup this, so we'll have to make it work. So it's not ideal really. Also, we've got to try and get Wi-Fi in here. So there's a Wi-Fi dongle there. So we'll have to somehow get Wi-Fi from there over to the house. It might be one of them plug-in Wi-Fi extenders or something. So. And right, so this is going to mount up there then. So the battery comes with a little plate. So what we're going to do, we've shifted it over. We're actually going to put it the bottoms in line, and then you put a piece of trunking across and down. Then everything can kind of just nip through the trunking just to make things a bit nicer, a bit tidier. So we're going to get the back on here then. So that's going to fit on like so. And then we've got the wall plate on, so we'll have to get that onto the wall. So some big raw bolts which will go into the breeze to fix that on with. And that's about it really. Hey, it's good fun. So yeah, we've got the, I think it opened upside down, but it's fine. So we've got the Eddie now. So this is a I like it. Right, so in here then, you want to get that out there. You'll take that excess power and shove it into, it'll basically heat an element, which will heat your water. Yeah, don't kill it, mate. It's quite heavy, so it's a nice little unit. I'll put that paperwork at CT over there. This is it here then. So I've got to nip out, you see, and get some trunking for the solar. See how it is. So essentially, you take the lid off, and there's two terminals for load in and load out, and that's it. So you essentially the cable going up to the immersion heater. I'm going to take that out, and that'll be the feed in. So we'll bang that into the mains in, and then you can have two heater outputs on that, but we're just going to use one. So one will come out of that back into your immersion heater, and then instead of running a cable all the way from this top loft room back down to here, what gets us out of the crap of trying to run a cable, we've got this thing called a Harvi. So this is a wireless, I think it's up to like 100 meters or something stupid. It's all in instructions anyway. I'll clarify that later. But essentially all you do is just bang it in there, and you don't need to power it up. It uses the actual power taken from just clamping round, which powers it up. So you just click pair, and it just pairs up. So yeah, it's really good. So yeah, we're going to leave them installing the Eddie whilst I go off, because I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's like half an hour away, so it's going to be at least an hour before I'm back. So, and then we've got Ellis doing this then. So again, it's just live neutral earth on this side, and then it's going to be CT1 for there. Probably brown and brown white, and then orange white, whichever he wants. He'll probably snip these back up here then. So what do you think? That's 6 fingers front end. So he's got plenty to play with. Right then, you crack on with that. And busy at the moment, but he will be available soon. And he'll do the Eddie then. Right then, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Good lad. Right, we are back down today then. It's a bit cloudy today. But yeah, we'll show you what we got done yesterday then. So we got the, obviously the inverter in. Ellie's got some lovely trunking in, so that's looking brilliant.
You are strong and wise, my young Padawan learner.
Well done, perfectly level. So yeah, I'm showing these lads the wiring arrangement, so we'll bring that up somewhere in here, and I'll show you as well. Ah, there we go. Thought I'd spend ages trying to find it. Right then, you're watching this then. So obviously it goes consumer unit, then it goes to isolator, generation meter, isolator again, and then your panel. So we'll have to fit all this on here then. So consumer unit, isolator, generation meter, isolator, panel. Yeah. So that's that, and then we've got a little DC isolator then. So we've got 2 strings in yesterday, ready to go to these panels on top. We've got some panels up already, there's a few more to go on. But yeah, so where's that 4-pole isolator? Essentially there's just 4 poles there, so it would be pods and egg for one string, pods and egg for other string, and then that is going to sit there then. And so we'll leave these 2 to do that then. So we'll give them creative freedom to whatever you want, mate. So get everything nice and level. You've done a good job on that trunking, mate, well done. So I'm going to do the Eddie then, so I'm going to connect the Zappi to the Eddie. So from memory, I think you just go onto the advanced settings menu in the Zappi, click connect devices, and it'll say searching for slave.
What?
Well, that's a bit weird terminology, isn't it? Searching for a slave, but yeah.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Eddie, you just click pair devices and it should link up and then appear on the Zappi's menu. There we go, we'll look at the Zappi then, so let's type in the code then into your menu. So if you went on link devices currently, it's link device info, this is all we've got. So the Zappi is the hub, but there's nothing connected to it. So if we go on other settings, advanced settings, type in your password, and then go link devices, and then pairing mode, searching for slaves. There we go. So that's going to start searching, and then we're going to go upstairs now and get that in the edit in a pairing mode. Alright then, so Hen's done a good job there, I think. He's got that on nicely. So this is your Eddie then. So this is your solar diverter. So any excess, it will pull in that amount of power, get exported, and heat your element, saving you some money. There we go. I'll try and keep it nice and still for you. So yeah, go into your menu then. Go in device settings, and then go advanced, and then linked devices, and pairing mode should pair it up. There we go, Zappi. There we go. So I'm now going to ring Ellis at the charger and get him to link it to me. There we go then, now that's linked. We're also going to sign into the My Energy or Eddie Wi-Fi then. So essentially we're going to sign into that using this will appear on a Wi-Fi on your phone. So you'll click on that, you'll type in this code, the password, and then you'll go into a menu, and then what you'll do then is type in, you'll find the router that you want to connect to on your phone, type in the password of the router, and then that will link up the Eddie device to the internet essentially. A thing called the Harvi, so that's the wireless CT, so that saves us getting a cable from here down to the fuse board, which will be a right pain of a run. Up then, so what we have to do is put the CT clamp on, wire it into the CT1 of the Harvi, that will power it up, and then you just click pairing, and here we'll click pairing mode, that says it's searching, and then it will basically just link up together, and that's it. There we go then, so that's connected up now. This is your Harvi, that's it there. That just connects up as by that diagram, and this is your CT clamp. So we'll just get this connected up now. So just open it up, do this one-handed, and then you're going to place it on here. And there's some nice little arrows telling you which direction the home is and which direction the grid is. So we'll get that on there next. Right then, so that is the Harvi flashing red then. So now it says red is on like a pairing mode. So we'll go upstairs, turn the link device pairing mode on, and it should link up. So if I go onto, so you go to your menu, if I go onto device settings, and then go advanced, type in your passcode, then go link devices, So it was on pairing mode, I'll just come out of it now, but if you go devices, you should see the Harvi there. So what I'm going to do, I'll just change it now, but this was on none, but you need to say that this Harvi is taking the CT1, which is grid, so we'll click grid, and that's that one. And then what we're going to do is come out of that, and this needs to be on set master. So this is now using the Harvi's CT1 for the CT for this. Now if we come out of that and go CT config, I've just turned it off now, but this was on grid. That needs to be on none, because there's basically two terminals in here, there's two CT terminals, so it's supposed to be for a wide connection, but if we're not using that, we don't want the Eddie basically trying to take readings from two terminals, which aren't doing anything, so we'll just turn that off. Yeah, so if we go into devices then, we had the Harvi, we set it up as per instructions, but the readings it was showing, we basically had the CT clamp on the other way around, so it thought it was generating. So if you look here, so have a look, there we go. So now it showed a minus reading. So basically it was showing 2,600, so you have to pull in 2,600. So it was showing 5 kilowatts generation, which was wrong. So what we've done is flipped it round now, and now we're getting a positive reading. So we haven't actually connected up the solar yet, so there shouldn't be any generation. So if you get a minus reading here, it means you've connected it up wrong if there's no generation. So now that's flipped, so the house is using 2,600 watts currently, so that's correct. And if you look now, so you've got 2.5 kilowatts coming in from the house, and this is using nothing now. So there we go, so that's correct. Right then, let's see how these guys are doing in here then. So, there we go, so inverter's obviously on. It's all wired up, so live and neutral to the grid. We've got that wired in. So let's follow this wiring diagram if you can hear me. It's confused board, so consumer unit to AC isolator to meter to AC isolator to inverter. So fuse board, AC isolator to meter, meter to AC isolator to the inverter. Then obviously when it comes to doing the DC side then, so Alice has done that piece of chunking like very well, to be fair, so nice job on that. But yeah, we've just got two more strings to bring in, so them two they dangle down there at the moment. They'll go through the roof and connect into the panels, and then we've got two more to fire onto the back side of the garage then. Yeah, we'll have to get two more from here up to that back side, and then it's just a 4-pole isolator, which is down here then. So as soon as that's fired up, we'll have the lid on, get the trunking on, little end cap, and that job will be nice and tasty. Right, let's just connect up for the solar then. So these are the two that go up top, so it goes pos neg of PV1 and pos neg of PV2, like so. So it's going to heat shrink it like so, and then obviously pos neg will come out of the bottom of here into PV1, and then pos neg for PV2. There we go, that's a bit neater then. So lids on, we've got a CT clamp for the grid, we've got a CT clamp for the solar generation, and then what we're going to do is just say where this needs to be isolated from. So you need that on just in case people want to, or electricians work on this, don't know this solar, then they turn off the power thinking it's dead, and then they get electrocuted from the actual solar up top. Right then, so they've got the trunking on, it's looking brilliant. I can't remember what last we filmed, but it's all stickered up now. So DC cables, yes, it's saying warning, DC, direct current cables. What else we got? All these are labelled up, the isolators, and then this is all wired up then. So I've just all set this up, so of course it's only solar only, so the battery came and they didn't need it, so they've taken it away. Oh, they thought it was battery job, but the customer didn't want the battery, they wanted solar, so it doesn't really matter. So we've got a slightly different setup to what we said earlier. But here we go, so we've set it all up then. So essentially, on the basics, we've got the time and date. What else we got? There's no battery, so we've just clicked no battery, nice and easy. Grid, just making sure that's all in, and then there's just a few settings here then. So on the system mode, 0 export was selected, so I've clicked that, so it will actually export, and 3600 is the rating of this inverter, so we can knock that down if we've got any issues. as far as loading. Obviously there's no battery connected, and that's about it. So that's all set up then, really. So we'll get this cover on. Obviously it's just earth, live and neutral in, and that's it powered up. So there's no other connections to this, since it's all it's going to do, convert the solar power into the panels. Panels generate DC electric. The DC gets inverted into AC electric using this inverter, and then obviously it'll go down the cable and out back into the house. So on a nice sunny day it should be producing like 3.6 kilowatts worth of power, so that's cool. The company's done the design on behalf of us. Wow, they started drilling. Here we go. So the Zappi has a CT clamp around the solar generation. So through the Zappi app you'll be able to see the generation, and you should be able to see the sites load. So that's pretty cool. So we'll show you that on the app shortly. But yeah, that's why they're not bothered about this system here being monitored and being able to see it through an app. Yeah, then so the panels are going on now. So we've got the cables out onto the roof. So obviously the negative coming from your panel, we'll have to extend it using a positive pin, won't we? So I'll just keep crimping this off now. So just strip it that much, bang him into there, use the crimper, and then push him in and twist him, tighten him up, and that'll be it really. I'll show you what it'll look like. So you just slide this end in then. There we go, does a little click. There we go, and tighten him up. There we go, so when you're crimping these then, you just want to make sure that the little teeth go towards the M. So if you do it all the way around, it won't crimp. There we go, that's all ready for these lads then. So obviously positive end will extend using the negative plug. That's them again, so negative will extend using the positive plug. So that's all goes back to the DC isolator. So when these lads put these panels on, it's just 2 clicks in, get your tie wrapped up, and good to go. Right, so we'll just check for voltage and polarity there, and the amps. So we just banged it on voltage on your little multimeter, and we're getting like 170 odd volts. And then we just popped it onto amps, so we're getting like 0.25 amps. As you can see, it's pretty cloudy at the moment, so yesterday would have been a brilliant day to test it, because it was like super sunny. But we'll just plug those in, turn him on, and then turn him on here, and we'll just give it about 5 minutes. See, DC's already showed up already. If you look onto this menu here, so at the moment it's not getting out through, but we will see MPPT1 and MPPT2. If you see that come onto life, we'll start seeing a generation there. We've got a tiny bit of wattage coming through, so 29 watts there, 17 watts there, and it'll just keep climbing and climbing as this kind of what's the word? Syncs up with it, I don't know. Yeah, there we go, syncs up. Unfortunately, yeah, it's only 54 watts it's settled at, so there's not a lot we can do with it, but we can monitor all that coming from the what do you call it, through the Zappi app. So we're about to log on to that Zappi app and make sure it's actually working on a sunny day. So just chopping down the rails now. That's those panels on there, so they've nicely gone on. It's been a bit tight on the roof, just because of the space of it. That's what they've designed, so that's what we fitted. And same again, that's those panels there then. So looking nice and tidy. And here's the Zappi in then, so that's looking brilliant. So yeah, Hayden's done a great job getting that in and getting it through and get it all talking to each other with the Eddie. Right then, that's us done. So we had a little mishap, that's why we didn't film the Zappi app. So you should see a house, a grid, like a picture of a pylon. You should see a car, you should see like a little water tank, and a picture of a sun for solar. So you should see all that in your app, and you should see the direction of flow, and your house is in the middle. So it'll show you pulling in from the grid, going into your house, going out to your different appliances and stuff like that. Yeah, then, but yeah, we had some issues setting up the Zappi, so we rang Zappi, and it was the classic. We tried to turn it off and on again, and it worked. So we missed that bit of filming. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, then hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we next upload. So it's everything from me and the lads, and I'll see you.